Today on the channel, we unleash the beast from within with the Filmation Beastman Mondo toys unboxing and review.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Mondo Masters of the Universe unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we're back at it with another Beastman, this time with the Filmation version. But of course, for all your Mondo toy needs, Mondo, or for this one, probably eBay. But for everything else under the sun, hit up jaystoysandgames.com, use discount code Kyle, save yourself 15% on all in-stock items. Gotta get a deal out there. And deal I got with this one, I don't know. Mondo has always been expensive. We all know that going into it. We've unboxed a ton of Mondo on the channel. However, price points getting a little bit more expensive. You throw in the tariff from McFarlane, but tariff to me. Then you get shipping on top of that. It gets really expensive for some of these things. And I've been all in on all the Masters of the Universe the last couple of years, but unfortunately, She-Ra and the Princess of Power Swiftwind is maybe where I have to bow out or at least take a little bit of a break, because when you add in the tariffs, you add in shipping, you add everything in, you're looking at almost $1,000. That's a pretty hefty price point. And I'm not the biggest Princess of Power guy. So putting that on that, I might have to miss out on that one. But one I could not miss out on, though, was a hairy bipedal creature. You know me, I love my hairy bipedal creatures. And Beastman, probably the first hairy bipedal creature I remember from when I was a little kid. I had the last version, which I absolutely love. That could be the best Mondo figure of all time. So I had to pick this one up as well. But once again, it's a deluxe figure. It's a very expensive figure here, but it will be welcome into my house like all other hairy bipedal creatures are, of course. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So first off, let's check out the packaging design. Very heavy packaging on this one, but you got a classic looking Beastman right there on the front, looking only like a Beastman could look if he was an evil henchman of Skeletor. That's for sure. Looking nice there. Masters of the Universe Beastman Classic is the official title on this one. Very cool. And on the side, you get kind of that green color. We've seen that before with the trap jaws and some of these other Filmation ones. Masters of the Universe on the top over there. And then on the back, get some credits. We get a little blurbage as well. Let's see what it says about our friend Beastman, the Savage Henchman, as it says once again. More sinister than man or beast alone, this hellish henchman is known for both his brute brawn and telepathic control over the dangerous wild creatures of Eternia. Engineered for death and destruction, Beastman serves as the red right hand of Skeletor, the overlord of evil. Be wary not to cross his path to Castle Grayskull, lest he unleash his cruel whip and barbaric force upon you in battle. And I believe Blackie Lawless of Wasp once talked about what beasts do, and maybe Beastman was doing that once upon a time too, with that whip and chain. Who knows? Who knows? But we do get the Velcro that compels us, and we do get Beastman inside the package. No artwork over here. That's a little bit of a strange turn of events there. Usually they got some artwork inside here. But Beastman looking good. And I actually had Beastman show up this week one day, and then the next day I had Buzz-Off show up. So it's been quite the Mondo party over here at my house lately. Get him out of the package here. Oh my gosh, there's a lot going on as usual with these Mondo figures. Holy cow. Watch out. Easy there. And of course, you guys know I save my packaging on these Mondo figures. You got to. They're very expensive. Why would you not save your package there? And you always got to protect your package as well. But there it is. Look at this. 3 plastic things. We got this. We got a head. We got hands. We got a sword. We got all kinds of stuff. And then we got Beastman just looking only like a big brute Beastman could look. But I'm going to, as usual, take all of this offline, get this all out of the package, and we'll be back talking all things Deluxe Beastman. All right, we got this big boy out of the package here. Can't wait to dive into old Beastman. But first, per the norm, we got to start with the accessories. And I guess we'll kick it off with the deluxe stand here. Now, these stands aren't always the best stands, but a stand is nice. I think every figure should have a stand, especially more high-end action figures, and doesn't get much more high-end than this for me personally in my collection. So it's nice to have a little extra security, because there's nothing worse than one of these Mondo figures taking a dive onto the floor, of course. So we do get the big stand right there. Then we get the extra hands. Now we got handshaking hands out of the package when Beastman puts on the tie and he becomes a gentleman. He's going to shake your hands, but he's also ready to throw some punches, and of course in bunches. Got two fisted hands right there. Got two gripping hands right here for his litany of weapons, ready to go with those. And then last but not least, he's got the I'm on the prowl hands, of course. He's got the animalistic hands right there. He's going to go for one of those. Maybe give you the back rake down your back. You never know what might happen there. Orange hands, you got the palms on top of his hands, of course. The palms, the hair on the top of the palms of his hands. And that's not even the palms of his hand. Palms are underneath. So scratch all that from the record. Scratch it from the record, Todd McFarlane, that's for sure. We get the hair on the top of his hands here. Got the claws ready to go. Looking extra animal-like right there. And I kind of want to use those hands. However, I feel like he has to have some of these weapons in his hands. You don't want to waste the weapons, that's for sure. So we're going to dive into it. We got two things that came with the last version of Beastman. Of course, this is based on that Beastman. You got to get the most out of your molds. We know how it goes at the end of the day. But you do get this nice gauntlet here where he's going to drink the blood of the non-believers, I think is what he's going to do with this one. This nice little cup here. He's ready to go. He's ready to take a sip. Also doubles as a shot glass on the parties if you run low on your kitchen or something. You can use that if you need to. Got a big hunkin' chunk of meat right here. A big turkey leg. I don't know what kind of leg this would be, but he's ready to chow down. Got a big leg right here. It's almost like 1-to-1 size. It looks like a real chicken wing is what it looks like to me. So we get that with him, of course. We get a futuristic blaster, and I don't know if I'm going to use this with Beastman. I didn't use this with the last one either, but it is a very futuristic-like blaster here, of course. That's the beauty of Masters of the Universe, bringing like the primitive kind of caveman-typey stuff, mixing that up with future technology stuff and blaster weapons. This almost is like real size, too. This is going to fire away. It's like a James Bond, a little pea shooter. It's like one of those secret weapons you got right here. Looks good, though. We've seen this before as well. We've also seen this whip before, but it was in, I think, a brown color instead of black. Very cool that it has a bend in it, so you can get it right where you want it to be, however you want it to be. Feels like real rope. This is very, very nice. I do like this. This is one of the better accessories we've ever got from Mondo as far as weapons go. Hard plastic handle to hang on to, and then we're just going to whip everybody. That's what we're going to do. Whip them into shape. Dare I say whip it good. Todd McFarlane, you've been known to whip it pretty good a time or two. Whipping it out, too, occasionally as well. And then we do got the big sword here. Beastman, he's ready to go. Silver blade here. You got the handle, everything else looking very good. Very lightweight, too. It's funny. This feels very light, where this feels so premium and heavy. This is very light on this one. It's still cool, and I think of Beastman more with a sword than I do a blaster. Maybe that's just me and my own brain there. So some fun accessories here. Make your Beastman your own. But now we're going to dive into the head sculpts for Beastman, and we're going to start the one out of the package. Now, when I see this head on Beastman, this reminds me of the Filmation series, of course. You got those blue bags under his eyes. You got those big old teeth. You got that big beard. You got those pointy ears, almost like an elf. And then you got the orange, I guess we'll call it skin tone color as well. This looks like Beastman to me. This screams Filmation Beastman. But we get 3 extra heads here that feel Beastman, but also a little bit different. Now, this one out of the package here, this one just screams the old school Masters toy line from the 80s. That's what this head sculpt reminds me of right here. He's got that eyes rolling back in his head. Who knows what's going on there? Beastman getting after it, of course, but his eyes rolling back on him there. He's got the big fangs going out, much bigger fangs than the one out of the package, of course. You got that like a spine on the top of his head. Almost looks like the spine on somebody's back. You got that on the top of the head. Big bushy beard, got all the hair right there. Not quite as crazy in the ear department as the Filmation version, but I think this is if you want to make this a more Beastman from the Masters Universe toy collection back in the day, you get that option there. Second head here, he's screaming. He's going crazy. He's got his mouth wide open. You got one eye bigger than the other one. You got the beard going there. You got the pointy ears. Kind of somewhere in between these two is where this one lies. He even has some earrings going on here as well. Like a young Morgan Freeman with earrings. Always looks strange to me when I'd see Morgan Freeman for whatever reason with all those earrings. And Beastman looks strange with earrings to me as well. So, I don't know, but a very confusing face here. Definitely interesting, though. I love the big tusk-like teeth there. And then the last head sculpt, just a little bit more stoic, but you got those tusk teeth going there. Much in line with the last one, but you got the eyes straightened up full on there. Man, some good head sculpts here. Some really good ones. I don't know which one to go. There's pros for every single one of these heads. Yeah, Todd, I think I need to order 5 of these. That's what I need to do. 1 in the package and then 1 to display each head. I think that's a great idea. If I could only afford that. I don't got that Todd McFarlane money, that's for sure. But I'm really torn on which head sculpt to use. It's funny as I always kind of default to the one that came out of the box with any toy most of the time, which is kind of weird. It's almost like subliminally they put that on there and you feel like that's the one that's supposed to be on there. That's how my head goes a lot. But I'm going to be torn between these 4 head sculpts here. We'll figure it out. But let's dive into this Beastman. Very heavy once again. He is a heavy big boy. Got that big, I guess that's fur. I don't know if that's supposed to be I guess it's like a fur like cloth. That's not the word I'm looking for, but it's like a fur. I guess we'll go old school. We'll go shawl. We'll do it for my grandma. He's got like a big red shawl over the top there. This is going to be removable, but it is attached to his vest piece here. So it is all together there. So you'd have to take all this off to get that off of there. He does got those classic bicep gauntlets with the tusk on there in red. You got the brown around the bottom of it. These do fall down. They remind me of Cyclops Marvel Legends, is what it reminds me of. They do not stay on very well. A little sticky tack or super glue, I wouldn't do that, but you could sticky tack those in, but they do slide down on you, so beware of that. Got some red wrist bracers right here. When you pull off the hands, these can come off with it, so be careful. You don't want to lose those, of course. Then you got the fur throughout, got that orange fur, of course, to scream in Beastman, especially classic Beastman from Filmation, and of course the original figure way back when. Looking very good. Forgot that little piece right there, a little compass right there in the front is what it looks like. He does got the Eternia Championship belt with full-on spikes going on, got that red jewel there. Never lost that belt. He's had that for a long time. Got the fur loincloth, real fur down here. It reminds me of like a baby blanket or something, a nice blue color. Underneath that, you do got sculpted in real fur down here, blue, looking pretty good. And then you got the orange pants. Orange pants? The fur pants is what he's got going on here. But nice and orange. Love the color to it. Very bright, vibrant orange on this once again. And then he's got red boots. That's one of the biggest differences between the last one where he went full-on feet. This one, he's got his boots on. He's going to be like a young Iron Maiden. He's going to die with his boots on, I think is what's going to happen with old Beastman here. Now, head is removable, of course, on this one. You do get the side-to-side, up and down. Not a ton of movement there. You are limited a little bit by his fur shawl going there, but looking good. Arms do go all the way around. Once again, you got to be a little gentle with this guy. I'm always scared with these Mondo figures. Nothing worse than a Mondo figure breaking on you, but the arms do go around. You do get a bicep cut. I don't really got much movement in mine, but it does have a cut right there. Single jointed elbows, of course, at the elbows. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, yep, single jointed there. I thought double for a second, but single jointed. Hands back and forth, side to side. Hands removable once again. You do get hula hoop up top a little bit. A little traditional waist, but there's not a ton of movement in these figures as far as articulation does go. Legs, oh, very, very tight. Not a lot of movement in the legs either. You are limited by that fur diaper. You get a little bit of side to side, a little bit of back and forth, but these really do walk the line between statue and action figures. Really not a whole lot of movement there. Double jointed knees, you do get some movement out of the knees. That's probably the best movement on the figure, I would say, is the knees. There is a little boot cut here, I guess we'd call that. Then you get the ankles up and down. 2025 Mattel. You got the Mondo logo down here as well. This one definitely stands a little bit better with those boots. A little bit more even to hit the ground, of course. But a big chunk of plastic, but not a lot of articulation. Kind of feels like the Mondo motto at this point. And look at that. That bracer just falls right off on there. I wish that stayed on better, that's for sure. But it's, yeah, just doesn't want to stay. Just doesn't want to stay for me. But it looks good, though. It does look like Filmation Beastman. There's no doubt about it. And I'm still torn which head to use for this guy. But man, oh man, a heavy chunk of plastic. But let's bring out his brother in arms. I got to say, I think I prefer this one. This one just seems so much more menacing, so much more mean. And definitely a lot of similarities, but also a lot of differences between the two. As we can see right here, you get the same title belt going on. I think that's the same head painted differently, if I'm not mistaken. It is the same head that we got before. So I'm sure we got some reuses of some of these heads, but they changed the paint a little bit more. He does got the Terry Steinbach shin guards on this one. Don't got the real fur loincloth. It's more of like a pleather loincloth on this one. Real fur up here on the shawl. You got some horns and spikes to it. You got more menacing spikes on the bicep. Definitely you can tell they're the same character, but different interpretations. And once again, in all honesty, I think I prefer the more grungy, evil version here compared to the cartoon one. Now, this one does look spooky, looks scary, looks like a guy I wouldn't want to meet in the jungle, that's for sure. But this one just feels a whole nother level to this one. But both are fun. Both have different uses in my collection. You put the Filmation off on a shelves together. You put this era over on their own shelves together, which I guess the modern Mondo take. I don't know what you call this necessarily. But big, bad, nationwide, hairy bipedal creature. You really can't go wrong here. But I got to think most people, they're picking up one or the other. Be interested to hear which one you prefer between the two. Or were you like me and said, you know what, I'm getting both of these. Can't go wrong either way, if you ask me. But a lot of fun here. And as I said, Beastman, one of my favorite characters. So I had to jump in on this one. Unfortunately, going to have to pour one out for She-Ra and Swiftwind. I already have She-Ra in the collection. As much as I would like to buy it, I just can't justify $1,000, at least at this time. Got kids that got to go back to school, Todd McFarlane. There's a lot of expense with that, of course. But we'll see what happens in the future with future Mondo releases. Hopefully, I don't have to pick and choose. But if they keep coming fast and furious, I don't know. I already had to bow out of the X-Men. I couldn't keep up with the X-Men stuff. So now I'm just all in on the Masters. We'll see where it goes once again in the future. But there it is. The new latest and greatest Mondo Beastman. Be very interested to hear your thoughts and take on this figure. Worth the pickup for you? Hard pass? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to both my YouTube channels. We got 2 channels with videos every single day. Check it out, of course. And of course, check out Patreon, YouTube channel memberships for even more content if that is your thing as well. My podcast every single Tuesday, it is The Kyle Peterson Show. It is, of course, every Tuesday, wherever audio platform you choose. It's on all of them, of course. You can also check out the video cast on YouTube. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, The Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com if you want to email me. So for Beastman ×2, I guess, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
Give that wheel the time.